Hi folks, it is the 3rd of April and I was just here playing around with my guitar here, having a twang, and then I thought, you know, how important it is to practice, isn't it? And I was just thinking about muscle memory in your fingers, especially here on the guitar, on a fretboard. How amazing it is that when you practice and you come back to it, you know, the next day you see the results of your practicing. So, with that in mind, yeah, I know my guitar playing's not brilliant, but you know, it's okay, I'm still practicing. What we're going to do right now is quickly, not going to make this a long clip, I made these mugs, and as you can see, I've got them, I'm beginning to turn them upside down. As the rims will stand it, you want to, as soon as you can, invert them, okay? Don't invert them if the rims are not ready for them to be inverted, okay? So I'm just keeping them still under wraps, but what I'm going to do now is just talk about pulling some handles, which we all love to do, don't we? It's like plucking away at the fretboard on the guitar. So what I recommend is, so what you're going to need is a wear board, okay? Get yourself some wear boards if you don't have them. Alright, good tip. 8 inches by 4 feet long, alright? 4 feet long by 8 inches is a good size. I've got some clay here. It's always good to, when you're going to pull handles, have the clay a little on the stiff side if you can. Now that's not always possible, so you may have to just take what you've got, and then I take a slug of clay like that, which is from about 1.5 to 2 pounds, okay? And then what I do is I squeeze it like this a bit. Alright, and then I smack the end like that. So we have a bit of a railroad spike, as I call it. Okay. Right, then you're going to need a water pot here with some not freezing cold water. And you're going to need a sponge. Voila. The sponge. Let's see if we can do some of this handle pulling. I'll talk about it as I go. So we want a handle. Alright, this is the kind of handle that in this case we're going to be pulling. It's not a very big handle, as you can see, quite small. It's quite comfortable. Not really a 2-finger handle, more like like that. Okay, so what we want to do now is yeah, so much you see a bit of pottery is very similar to guitar playing. It's a lot to do with muscle memory, especially when you're throwing or you're pulling handles. Okay, hold your railroad spike like that, dip it in your water pot, put the sponge there. Now, what we're going to do is we want to pull down a decent amount of clay. And when I say a decent amount, I mean probably 1.5 foot of clay. I'm going to extend this out like this, okay, till it's about 1.5 foot long. Alright, so I'm pulling it down. Now, hand posture. Alright, so your left hand just holds it there. Your right hand, you see the hole there between that my thumb and index finger make. That is really the cross section of what your handle will be. If you hold it like that and just pull it pull it down in one position. If we just thinking whether this camera is actually better slightly over this side. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I think I usually do it on this side actually when I show you this. Yeah, it's better. So holding it like this. All right, that's one posture like that. Another posture is like that. All right. Another posture can be like this and like this. It's a little bit, you're going to have to discover your own method to do it. But you want to pull down a good amount. Now I've got here probably probably 2 feet of clay I've probably pulled down here. You see, it's quite long, isn't it? That's okay. Now it can get a little bit tiring on your hand. Now at the end here is where I'm going to pull my first handle. Now I've pulled a lot of clay down. I'm now going to, so you want it nicely tapered in cross section, so it's getting very, very slightly thinner as it gets down towards the end, but because you've pulled it over a long stretch, that taper is very, all right. And then once we've got our handle, we're going to cut it off on the board. So now lay it across the board like that. All right. And then with the side of your thumb here, we're going to chop it off like that. Okay. It's important to get it well chopped off, nicely chopped off, you know. Okay. Lay it across and let's just bring the camera there. Come on, let's do another. See, once you've pulled down all that amount of clay I said, it's very easy just to quickly pull them off the end here, you see. Like that. Lay them across, and I'll bring the camera down here in a minute so you can see how the ending should be. It's important to get that right. There it is. Pull them off. Now keep the handle, the clay nicely wet in your water pot and your hand wet, okay? That's really important. You know, handle pulling is really, it's difficult to learn how to do it in the beginning. So when you pull, make sure you pull right off of the end, okay, of the clay. Pull right off the end. Use this hand to control the width of the handle, all right, by squeezing it here like that. Yeah, if the clay gets dry on you, don't pull it. Stop immediately and wet it. Okay, laying it there, cut him off. So what I'm going to do now is, if this isn't too crazy, I'm going to, hang on, let me just get a handle ready, then I'm going to whip the camera off the tripod and then put the camera down right at ground level, so to speak, where I'm actually cutting it off. Okay, I've got that one ready. I'm going to put the camera right here, right down on the bench, okay? I hope that may, there, that's quite good, isn't it? Alright, now then. So, I want you to see this, you see, because a lot of people get this wrong. So you can take your handle, you're going to lay him down like that, pull him into position. Now with the side of my thumb there off. I hope you saw that. Let's do another one. Lay him across. Side of the thumb, okay, not the front of the thumb like that, but the side like that. And another thing to bear in mind, you want to make sure that you have the board, hang it over by ½ an inch over the side of your, you know, you don't want to see any table here because you won't be able to chop him off properly because the table's there. So bring him right, hang him over the edge. Alright, let's just do one more. Okay, hang him over. This is a little bit of a thinner one. Okay, so there he is. Okay, bring this hand up so he touches the board there. Bring your thumb down, straight down like that. Okay, now just gonna show you here. You see the ending of these here. You see it's fairly at a right angle, you see, the ending, and that's the important thing, because this is what's going to butt up against your mug or whatever. So you want to attach it. You want a good attachment right there, around there. Now if that is not at a nice right angle, the handle to the pot itself, you're not going to get a good attachment, right? Bear those things in mind. Now I'll put the camera back up here and we'll do a couple more, and that's it. That's all I've got to say. Just wanted to show you that, make it a quick clip on just doing one thing, because it's something people, you know, they come to learn how to make pots, but you really want to learn how to put on handles and appendages, you know, to your pots. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 12 mugs there. 12 mugs. So out of all that clay that you saw me earlier on pull down, was about 2 feet of clay, wasn't there? I've managed pretty much to pull 9 handles out of. Okay. You don't want to make the handle too flat in cross section. Okay, it's elliptical in its form, in its cross section. It's elliptical. Yeah. So as on the neck of the guitar, you learn the fret positions, the chord positions. Okay. So as well, when you learn to pull handles, you're going to learn to put your hand on the clay, and you're going to learn to position your hand on the clay. You see, a bit like your hand on the fretboard. And you'll find that you'll develop. You see, you're not born with muscle memory. You're not born with it. You've got to develop it. You've got to start somewhere, you see. Now it may be that you may think, oh, I'm no good at putting on handles. I can't do that. It's too beyond me. I just can't do it. I always end up making a mess. Well, I was the same. If it's any consolation, I was the same. I found it difficult. I didn't have YouTube videos to refer to. I had to watch my dad doing it, and then I'd have to have a go at doing it, you know. And it was you know, but with doing it, well, because we made lots of pots and such, so we had lots to practice on. And you soon develop your own way of doing it, really. I've sort of taken on from what my dad showed me, and I've developed it in my own style, you see, which you will do, you know, as you. Most people these days, they don't make enough pots. This is the problem. They go out in their studio and they make 3 pots, and they spend 3 hours to do it, and they think they've had a good session. You've got to. Can't be serious about it if you're doing like that. You've got to make a lot of pots. You know, nobody gets good at doing this just by making 2 or 3 pots. You've got to make 23, 33, 43 before you're going to see real progress, okay? Trust me. I'm potty. I know what I'm talking about. Well, it is true actually. You've got to get into your mentality, a workshop routine, a workshop mentality, not an art school mentality. You know, and it's practice, one after the other. Next, another. Chuck that one away. It's no good. Get another one. Bang it on there. Come on, let's do it. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to be insulting to anybody. I'm just trying to say that, that if you're going to learn this, you've got to do more than just 2 or 3. You're not going to, because you're going to mess up 2 or 3 to start with, and then you're not going to see any progress. You've got to see the progress. If you don't see the progress, you won't have the encouragement to even come back in the studio again, because you'll be so put off. So you've got to really hang on in there. Develop what I call it Jack Russell determination. Okay. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope that's been instructive, useful to you. As I say, nice, gradually tapered. Okay. Not real big and heavy at one end and real thin and wafer thin at the other end. Okay. Make sure that the cross section. All right. Don't know if we can get this in the camera, actually see some of the cross section of these handles. All right, they're not flat, neither are they round. Okay, and notice the endings here, what I showed you earlier. All right, about how to chop them off. That's very important. Okay, along with this will be then how to apply the handle to the pot, which I've done a million times, but I'm going to continue to do because that's what I'm doing here in the studio, what I happen to be doing. So yeah, okay, simonleachpottery.com is the website. Please go there. If you want to come on a workshop, learn about pulling handles, learn about throwing cylinders, learn about pulling the clay and keeping it on center and not going off center, and how to improve your technique, come on a workshop. You'll learn more than you think, I'll tell you. And check the dates on the website. The dates are there. And above all, keep practicing. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Bye-bye now.